What's up, JLo's Palace? I love saying that. Like, I love making videos mainly because, like, I just love saying what's up, JLo's Palace, because I literally created my own palace based off of a mindset that I used to have. And I was like, okay, I really have to fix myself, my self confidence, my mindset, and I have to know that I am that girl because I am that girl. And once I realized that I was that girl, and I've always been that girl, I changed my username to JLo's Palace. And I created my, well, no, I made a whole new Instagram and I just created this safe space for me and other people too. Um, so today we're going to be going through my iPad and all my nice photos because I film with my camera. So, but oh my God, these photos, I want to talk about my favorite photos and my least favorite photos, but these three parts are going to only be about my favorite photos because at first I was like, okay, let me do favorite and least favorite. But then I was like, let me just separate them into three parts. But, oh, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out because usually I just do things. But these three parts are for Instagram Reels, although I'm going to cut them very short, like less than a minute. And then the three parts of my favorite ones are also going to be one whole YouTube video. And then, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or less. And then I'm going to do three parts of my least favorite. And that's going to be little tiny parts on Instagram Reels and a whole part on YouTube. We're going to keep going until I go through all my photos because I want, like, I've taken quite a few photos from beginning to end. And the reason I want to talk about them is because not only did my first photo kind of break me out of having more confidence to post and to do what I was thinking, but which also I'm going to talk more about in my least favorite photo video, but also to my favorites or my most recent, how my confidence has boosted. So that's going to be a whole other video, but man, I love this. But I'm going to film it right now. Welcome to JLo's Palace. Today we're talking about something very important. My photos. Can I get a round of applause? Yes, we're going to be talking about my photos. For some reason, whenever I mention my photos, I start blushing. That sounds corny, but because I'm I just said so many times. I eat that up. I really do. I don't know. I'm just getting nervous because I'm talking about my photos, and I get nervous when I talk about me. Anyway, so I want to talk about my least favorite photos and my favorite photos. I don't know if I want to make a part 1 and part 2 or do it all in the same part. But I don't know if I want to start from the beginning of my photos to the end or... I think I'm going to start from my most recent photos to my least recent. Oh, I got it. I'm going to start from my pinned photos. Okay, I got it. Actually, no. I'm going to talk about my favorite photos. And then in the next video, I'm going to talk about my least favorite photos. But just because I say the least favorite, it doesn't mean I don't like them. I like them, and I ate it up. But the best photos just are right here. So much so that it pushes down the other ones here. But it doesn't mean the least favorite are ew. I hope that makes sense. They still eat. They just don't eat at the level that my favorite ones eat at. If that makes sense. So we're going to be talking about my favorite photos, which are my pinned ones on Instagram at JLo's Palace. So go follow her. Okay. So, my first pinned photo... Okay, I just did this one May 6th. It's this one right here. Yes. Okay, so I want to talk about my concept of what I was thinking and what I was going for. And at first, I wasn't going for anything. Usually when I do photos... No, actually, I don't know. Sometimes I have an idea and sometimes I don't. I just kind of do it. But with this photo that I'm looking at, my idea was, okay, I want to experiment with makeup more because I don't think I'm the best at it. I could be better. So let me practice some makeup and let's see what I can do. So I don't think I have the picture right now. I don't know if I can bring it up. But I saw this photo on Pinterest, and I was like, I don't know if I can recreate it, because I'm not the best at it. I haven't worked with with eyeshadows, so I don't know what I could do. It didn't end up looking like the photo at all. It looked different, and I was like, I don't know if I like it or not. And then I ended up not liking it, so I was like, okay, let me just fuck it. Let me make my eyebrows pink, cause pink. So I made my eyebrows pink, and I don't know if I should start recording me not knowing what I'm doing, but I made my eyebrows pink, and then I did some black liner on my lips, and then like I used this e.l.f. blush, my favorite, because it's pink. And I put it on my lips, and I was like, okay, I look insane. I look crazy. I don't know if I like it, but let's set up the camera in the backdrop and let's see if I can eat. So I set up my light, my camera, my backdrop. I did have a shirt on. It was actually a skirt that I used in another photo I'm going to talk about. And I just used it as a top, even though you can't really see it. And then I had press on nails, hot pink, and then cheetah print. Cheetah print eats down. So I put those on. I was like, okay, let me just make this more about face instead of face, body, legs, arms, So I was like, okay, boom, boom. Don't know what I'm doing. Don't like it. Didn't eat. Didn't give. Didn't serve. And usually I think that when I'm taking photos and I look back and I'm like, no. And then I edit them and I'm like, I don't even really be doing much sometimes. But I was like, okay, what else can I do? Because I had no idea. And then I was like, oh, let me put myself in a star. Because star. And then I was like, oh, let me make a poster. I like making posters. I did graphic design for a little bit. So I'm not the best at it, but I have a little bit experience. So I was like, okay, let me make a photo poster. And I was like, okay, this is cool. So when I started editing it, I was like, okay, I ate that up. I think I did. Because I just removed the background on the main photo that was my favorite. I put that down there, and then I put me in 2 stars, and then outlined the stars with stars. And I use cute fonts that I think expresses what Jayless Palace vibe gives. So that's a font. So that's the story on that one. Did I eat? Let me know. Be honest though. If you don't like it, let me know. Literally, because everyone has different opinions. You may not have thought that I ate. I may think I ate. This photo, I don't think I ate. It's cool. But I do happen to think I ate. The eyebrows they were crazy. I was sitting there like, what am I doing? But I ate. Make sure you tune in for more and like and subscribe, please, to be a part of my palace. Because we're all kings and queens and things.
At both men and women and non-binary people.
Okay. So, welcome back, Jayless Palace. So, we're talking about part 2 of my favorite photos that I've taken. I don't know how many parts this is going to be because I have taken a lot of favorites and some least favorites that aren't necessarily least favorites. They're just below because the favorites eat. Okay, so Beyonce's kitty cat. I recreated that, and I didn't recreate it to the T, but I recreated it to what I could. The reason I chose Beyonce is because Beyonce. I'm that girl. Beyonce, she's that girl. Come on. It's not the diamonds. It's not the pearls. I'm that girl. I'm that girl. So Kitty Cat by Beyonce. Love that song. Down. Underrated song. So my what I do is I accumulate a lot of photos and references for about a week or a couple of days. Just because I usually jump on things very quickly. But I wanted to accumulate and kind of not study it because I've seen the music. Well, I did study the music video. I did. Because I was like, okay, I don't have a bodysuit. I don't want to wear a bodysuit. I wear what I want as long as it kind of matches the vibe. So I was like, okay, let me just find some cheetah print stuff I have laying around. Obviously, or leopard print. I don't know the difference. But let me find some leopard print things I have laying around and let's make do with what I have. So in the music video, she has a bodysuit and she has a thick black belt and heels. So I was like, I don't have everything to the T, so let me put this together, and I happen to have a thick black belt. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch the I actually did buy the backdrop. It wasn't identical to the video, but I bought the backdrop because I was like, okay, I can work with it, and I need more colored backdrops. So I got this kind of a navy bluish backdrop. And I was like, okay, I want it to kind of look dramatic a bit. Not too identical, but you get it if you get it. You know, if you're part of the beehive, you get it. So I was like, okay, let me kind of get down on the ground. Kind of like, what is this? What's the animal? Oh no, that's a cat, not a leopard. She didn't have a leopard either. A cat. So I was like, let me get down. Let me, you know. And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, when I was taking the photos, I was frustrated because I was like, this is not coming out right. I don't like any of it. I hate it. Like, I was literally like, I don't like how the photos look. This looks horrible, blah, 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 blah. I was just like, I was actually frustrated, I'm not gonna lie. Because one thing about me is when I'm taking photos, I take them exactly how I want them in my head, how I plant them. Everything has to go, that sounds a little bratty, but my way. Because if it doesn't go my way, I get a little frustrated because I'm like, I have this idea and I want to execute it. If it's not executed the way I want it to be, I'm upset. Even though I'm the only one that's like, doing this. So I was upset because I was like, oh, this pose is not eating. I don't know what to do. But one thing I learned when taking photos, don't judge it before you start editing. Like, you literally need to trust the process, because you can hate something and then it can turn out to be really nice. So that's how I started. I was like, I hate this. I was literally like, I want to wrap up the photo shoot. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to do it another day. Well, my mind is right, because I can't take photos if I'm upset. Like, I can't. So I have to because I can't get my face right, But I was like, okay, let me get on the ground and let me eat. And then I was like, wait, that one photo kind of ate. I was like, I don't like a lot of them, but let me see if I can work with what I have. And I was like, okay, definitely using this photo right here. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to use it. And then I grabbed some reference pictures from the Kitty Cat music video that I watched almost 1,000 times. And I was like, you know what would be cool is if I actually had a cat, like, in the music, the video shoot, the photo shoot. And I was like, how do I have a cat in the photo shoot? So it took a minute, a lot of editing, a lot of, oh my God. Sometimes I'm not even gonna lie, I'm up editing till like 5 a.m. sometimes, because I'm still learning as I'm going. I'm not a professional, and nobody's a professional. Nobody's gonna be a professional, but you get there where you're better than you were before, and you're always learning and learning and learning. Even though I consider other people professional, but I'm learning. This is just the beginning. So I managed to get a cat in there, and I was doing a lot of shadows and highlights, and it was so annoying because like the details that other people don't see, I see. Like, you could look at this photo and be like, oh my God, or but like, to me, I'll see tiny little things and I'm like, gotta delete it, gotta start over, when other people see it and be like, girl, what are you seeing? This is my all-time favorite photo. Like I'm so proud of this photo. Like, I'm so proud of it. Like, I'm genuinely just so proud of it. I don't know, most of the time things like click in my brain as I'm going. But I just love this photo down to the hair, to the my legs. I was sitting there like this, like drooling over myself because my legs looked so good. Like, I just round of applause for a second. Because this photo, bro, I don't know, for me this is my top number one. Number one. Kitty Cat doesn't even reach there. And Kitty Cat was nice, but number one. Oh. So this was like a intergalactic type of vibe. This photo was so good, I didn't know what to caption it. which is weird because usually, like, I'm actually not that good with captions. But I was like, bro, what do I caption? It's just eating down so hard. But I was just like in a brain fart. But shout out to my comments because it helped me with captions. This one ate my favorite. But this one, okay, so let's talk about the outfit. The outfit, I was like, at first I was like, I want to do some type of, not necessarily intergalactic, but I was like, I want to do a chrome type of shoot. And my inspo was actually What's It Gonna Be by Busta Rhymes and Janet Jackson. This song eats down, and that's why I used it for here, because it kind of gave me the same vibe. It wasn't identical, and it wasn't where the idea originally came from, but I saw it after I had this idea, and I was like, oh, okay. So then it inspired more. But I was like, okay, where am I gonna get chrome intergalactic type of clothes from? I don't know how to style that. I'm not like, I don't know what to do. So I was like, okay, Forever 21 is closing, so let's look there, because they may have some, I don't know, type of weird clothes and good sales. So we went there. This is actually a funny story, because every time I plan a photo shoot and I'm like, I don't know what to wear, I'm not going to be able to find this because it's in the wrong season. It's going to be hard to find. It's going to take like weeks or months to do a photo shoot. I'm like, this is exactly what I say, I swear. I'm like, okay, I do this. I'm like, God, if you love me, like for the Beyonce Check Up On It photo I did, I was like, God, if you love me, please just drop down this perfect pink leather jacket. Or, God, if you love me, please give me some type of space ET looking outfit. I said it for the kitty cat shoot. God, if you love me, give me... Leopard is in season, so it's easy to find. But I say that every time, kind of like I'm being serious, but also as a joke. I swear to you, every single time I found the exact perfect outfit. Every time I said that. Let's give a round of applause for that. Please. Thank you. Every single time. I'm not even joking. So I walk into before Forever 21, I was like, God, if you love me, please drop down some type of intergalactic looking top. I literally saw this the second, like when I walked in there, I saw it, and I was like, bro, that's not a coincidence. And then I saw the bottom, and the shoes were very cheap too, and they were closing down. So I was like, okay, let me just get the shoes. Are like dirt cheap. So I was like, this is perfect. I found everything, and then I got the white wig. I found some random black top in my closet. I actually had on jewelry, you just couldn't see, and I was kind of mad you couldn't see my makeup because it was like blue and silver. I should have had my eyebrows white, now that I think of it. Dang. I hate when I come up with ideas after, but oh my God, it ate. Also I got, what is it called? It was like a chrome paper. It's like chrome wrapping paper, actually. It was very, very cheap. I don't spend a bunch of money on like all of this. I don't, trust me. But it was very cheap, and I was like, okay, how do I set this up? I don't want the background to be super flat and bland. So what do? And I don't have a huge space to work in. So I went in the corner of my room, and I literally stood there, and I was like... And so what I did was I actually thumbtacked and taped the top of the paper to my ceiling. I dragged it all the way down, hoping it would reach the floor, and it did. And then I taped it down in like rows of 3. So I did one roll, not roll, that's a lot, but it came in one roll, but it was enough to do 3 columns is what I meant. So I did 3 columns, and then I had a little bit extra to put on the floor to kind of act like the floor was chrome too, because I wanted to give it an effect where I was in a room and not on a flat backdrop. So I threw on my outfit, oiled up a little bit so I could be a little shiny. And the problem I was having is that this was so reflective that you can see my room, and I was like, okay, that's gonna be whack. I don't want you to be able to really see that. So I also got this light. Oh, this light right here. I got it off a TikTok shop. It's actually really good light and very cheap and expensive. And what I did was I kind of just set it up on the floor. Oh, no, that's another thing I did. I set up black cloth so it wouldn't reflect on my room and you wouldn't see much of it. So that's why you can't really see my room. And as I'm going through the rest, I also changed the light on it because I was like, okay, so obviously I'm going to do pink. Read the literal room. What I mean by the movie? Okay. But then I did blue and I was experimenting. Okay, let's do green. Let's do purple. Let's see what we get. And I was just posing a lot and I was playing music. It was very dark in my room, by the way. I actually didn't have an external light. I just used the flash on my camera. And this also has multiple settings and strobes. I'll link it right here. And in the bio, but it had multiple settings. It had a strobe light, it had a party light. So I was like, okay, let me use a strobe light. So it's literally just this in my camera. And I like how it came out. This one right here I really like because it made it look like I was kind of in a club or some type of movie or something. And I like the blue one. I don't know, they just came out pretty cool in my opinion. But this was my favorite photo. And then I used the song What's It Gonna Be because watch the music video. Gonna make yeah. But the white wig did eat. At first I was like, the white wig isn't gonna give. Like I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna look good in it. Every time I say I don't think I'm gonna look good in a hair color. Round of applause. I eat it up. And I do. I don't know why. But that's basically, I don't think I'm leaving out anything, but that's basically it for this video. I am going to do other parts, 3 more parts of my least favorite. This is actually going to keep going. I'm thinking about doing literally all of the photos I have. I think I should, yeah, and just go into detail about them because I obviously didn't record the behind the scenes of all of them. But I do remember them all, so I'm excited to talk about one in particular. This one. But y'all will have to tune in if you want to know the behind the scenes of that. Bye.